All right. Here we go. Tuesday morning, September 25th, North Caloocan City, where the city meets the province, baby. And I am 6 minutes late. Why? I don't know. I guess you could say I'm on Filipino time, but not really, right? So if I was on Filipino time, I wouldn't come in till an hour to 2 hours later, right? Anybody give me a thumbs up on that one? Merc 3. I see those comments, Merc 3. I see those comments waiting for live chat at 10. Wala pa. Are you in here, Merc 3? Says I've got 3 people in the room. Good morning, Robert. How are you, sir? Good morning to Robert Han from Seoul, Korea. We have a sister in Seoul, Korea. Melanie's sister is there. She is an OFW. Well, she's not really an OFW. She's actually lived there for a long, long time. How are you, Robert? What's going on in Seoul, Korea today? What is it, 11:05 there? I can't remember if Seoul is an hour behind or an hour ahead. I think you're an hour behind me, right? Is it 9:05 there in the morning? Or 10 or 11:05? Robert says he's doing excellent. All right. Me too. I've got my badass biker bandana on today. Trying to look cool. And that's pretty hard for me to do. Most of the time I look like a dork. Oh. Mr. Spicoli, New Jersey, how are you? Jeff Spicoli in the chat room. Hello, sir. And good evening to New Jersey. I believe it's 10 p.m. there, Monday night. Clyde Seaside, hello, sir. There's a good reason to visit Korea. Yeah, we tried. CJ Sickles, how are you, sir? Monday Night Football, all right. Monday Night Football. Wow. Okay, 11:09. Thanks, Robert. Thanks, Robert Hahn, for that. 11:09, Seoul, Korea. We tried, Clyde, and well, I mean, we have to get Melanie approved. I can go, but Melanie cannot. Good morning, Jeff Spicoli. We will probably make it to Japan before we end up going to Seoul, Korea. CJ Sickles, the wife is in the Philippines building a house. All right. And you're in Florida. Yeah, Clyde. You know what? And we made a mistake and actually booked tickets and went to the airport, Melanie and I. That was actually going to be our my visa run to get my Balak buy-in stamp. And we booked with, this is actually a pretty good story, hopefully. We booked with, I think it was Cebu Pacific that we booked with. And the girl takes us up to the counter and she's, hey, Dennis, how are you? And she's kind of real fidgety and kind of delaying everything. And I'm asking Melanie, she's talking to Melanie in Tagalog. And I'm asking Melanie, what's going on here? Why are they delaying so much in processing our boarding pass? We were absolutely clueless that Melanie needed a visa for Korea. And I was starting to get a little bit irritated. And finally, the girl was so nervous. You know, Filipinos don't like to confront one another. And the girl that was checking us in, or making an attempt to check us in, finally went and got her supervisor. And her supervisor came and told us the news. And we were like, oh, we didn't know that. We thought that Melanie could go to Korea, especially if she was traveling with me. But turns out that means nothing, being married to an American with an American passport. So we went to Bangkok instead. Merc 3. How are you, sir? I saw you. You were hammering me there, Merc 3, on my Filipino time. I was only 6 minutes late, bud. Come on. Give me a break. That's not even Filipino time. Jim Schultz. All right. You finally made it, bud. You made it into the live chat. Oh, you know, that's funny, though. Once I gave you the time, you found me. Maybe you don't have the, if you're a follower of my channel, Jim, maybe you haven't rung that bell, because I think if you ring that bell, it alerts you on your cell phone every time I put a video up or every time I go live. So, yeah, Dennis. Yeah, Dennis. Oh, okay, Jim. No cell phone. Gotcha. Well, once I told you the times of the live chat, look, you made the very first one. And I just told you that a couple of days ago. So you're paying attention. Ten is 10, Poe. Oh, Merc 3. You know, I should know that. I'm ex-military. Actually, I could have logged in on time. I was just back there getting some water, and Melanie and I both came down with some type of a little virus again. We both got sick over the weekend. It's getting old, but man, it's been hot here. The last 3 or 4 days has been really hot. We're pushing 97F inside the house, so I don't know if that's what's gotten us sick, is going in and out of the aircon, you know. Weird Squad. Hello, buddy. How are you? Derby, Vermont. The Butler family says, hey. Okay, hello to the Butler family. Welcome to Philo in the Philippines live stream. North Caloocan City, baby, where the city meets the province. Yeah, bird flu from processing chicken for the barbecue. I don't know if that's where we got it from. Maybe one of the family members over there was sick and we got it. My wife said, now you will chat your friend. I will go to bed. No need to disturb. I thought your wife always joined in on the chat, Merc. Is she not joining in on the chat this time? What's that called? What's that bird flu called? Avian flu or something, right? I think it's called avian flu in the U.S. Yeah, Dennis, we have, Dennis Brock said the sun is out and Dennis is in Cavite. And we also have a very, very beautiful day here in North Caloocan. We've had, let's see, today's Tuesday. We've had probably 4 days in a row of nice weather. Really nice. So I guess we're kind of at the tail end of the rainy season, aren't we really? Maurice LeBlanc, hello, sir. Maurice LeBlanc, Eastern Canada. Welcome to the live stream. Thanks for stopping in, Maurice. Hopefully I can. Clyde Seaside. It's dry in Australia right now. No rain. Jim Schultz. I met Melanie originally through Facebook. We had a mutual friend. Her cousin was a Facebook friend of mine that I met in Angeles City. So Melanie is not from the area, although she has lived here since she was pretty young. She's lived here probably since she was early teens. She went to school right over by SM Fairview, and she has lived in this area since she was probably about 12 or 13. And we settled here because, Melanie bought the home that we're living in now. Melanie bought this home before we met. So she was already here. Now we've got the house paid off. So we're going to stay, I think, for a while, Island Dan. Hello, sir. Are you still in Palawan? Yeah, Jim. Yeah, the internet has made the world a very, very small place. So, but yeah, you're right. It was just, Clyde, we've got it, buddy. She's finished. But sorry, we don't have it. We'll have it in 6 weeks. But Melanie is finished with the whole process. It took about, no shit. It took my wife, you guys, probably 10 different trips. I'm going to say 10 or 12 different outings to various city halls, various BIRs. Tim Sheets, how you doing, buddy? And also roughly about 30, what was it? 19. I want to say about 35,000 pesos to get the title of the house. She's finally completed, and it will be ready in 6 weeks. She just needs to go back to the Registry of Deeds and pick it up. Weird Squad Entertainment. Is it cheaper to bring my Filipino future wife from the Philippines to the U.S. than I myself living there? Well, that's going to depend on your lifestyle there in the U.S., Weird Squad. Is it cheaper to bring your future wife? I mean, there's so many variations there, that is she supporting her, is she going to be expected to support her family here in the Philippines, or does she have kids? There's so many. Is your house paid off in the U.S.? I'll tell you this, Weird Squad Entertainment Vlogs, I'll tell you this. Living here is very inexpensive, okay? Very inexpensive. We're living here on about $1,000 a month. So, but we have no monthly rent or house payment. Merc 3, Melanie was doing Melanie was doing like escrow officer type work for a real estate company. She's done a few things. Plus, she's a really good seamstress, so she does sewing jobs. She's a hustler. Yeah, Clyde. We went to South Caloocan, and Melanie left a document here. It was sitting on the bed. Probably got distracted by the dog or something. Weird Squad. I wonder if my father and you ran into each other during your military career. He went to many places. What's your dad's name? I got out in '87, so probably not. The Marine Corps is a small place, but it's also a very big place. Merc 3 says it depends on the new immigration laws and what your income is. Depends on the new immigration laws and what your income is. Jim Schultz, a good ambassador to the U.S. Oh, I certainly hope so. I'm trying. I'm trying to spread the word here in the Philippines that foreigners are actually friendly, and you don't have to be afraid to talk to them, the way so many Filipinos are. Island Dan, I'm going to have to get used to the slow pace here in the Philippines. It took almost 3 weeks to get internet installed. Oh, yeah. Well, you did better than me. It took us 6 weeks to... Charles Brand, hello, sir. Charles is in South Caloocan. He's very close to me. Actually, not really. You're 4 rides. Oh, Merc 3 was commenting on what it would cost to bring your Filipino to the U.S. Yeah. The K1 visa process is probably about a couple of $1,000, I'm going to say, all in all. You don't even need to be a permanent resident. No. Weird Squad, you don't need to be a permanent resident to live here. You can live here on a tourist visa. Okay, you don't have to be a permanent resident. Permanent resident is a 13A status, which is something you apply for once you're married to a Filipina. Ken R., good morning and greetings from Union City, California. Wow, we've got a bunch of people coming in today. Great to see all you guys. Thanks for joining the chat. Yeah, Merc 3. That's Weird Squad. I can speak a little bit of Tagalog, yes. I'm actually trying to pass on my Tagalog knowledge to all of you guys. At the beginning of each one of my videos, I do a Tagalog phrase. And what I'll do soon is I'll show you. I'll show you. I've saved every one of them. Every one of the Tagalog phrases. So one day we'll do a review. Okay, we'll do a video and just review all of these. For those of you who want to learn useful phrases, these are phrases that I know that I use every day. For those of you who want to know those, I'll do a video and we'll do a... I've probably got 20 of them here. I don't know how many I've got. Maybe even more than that. Okay, I'm getting behind now. Sorry. CJ Sickles, what was my MOS in the Marine Corps? I was a 0341. I was a fire direction coordinator for 81 millimeter mortars. Back in those days, mid 80s, that was called the combat mathematician, basically. Yeah, fire direction coordinator, 81 millimeter mortars. Sorry, you guys, I'm getting a little bit behind on the chat. Just give me a second. I'm going to answer everybody's questions. Mercury 3 says 23,000 USD is required. Yeah. Weird Squad, you do have to have a certain amount of income, okay, to get that K1 visa approved. And you can't have any criminal activity in your past. Clyde Seaside, I own my house in Australia, and I think it works out as cheap for my fiance to come to Australia as me coming there. Yeah. Yeah, Clyde, I like the way that I like your plan. Your overall plan is to just come here for, 4 or 5 months. If I could have kept my life in the West, which I would have had to work a few more years, right? I got pushed into retirement at a young age. So I would have had to work a few more years. And if I could have kept my Western life, I would probably, knowing what I know now, and how challenging it can be to live here full time, I would do more what you're going to do, Clyde. As I told you before, you will leave the Philippines right about the time you start getting sick of it and you start getting pissed off every day. Yes. No, yes. That is, Island Dan, that is correct. You only have to leave every 3 years. A lot of people do it that way. No, yes, and join the group chat. Thank you. No, yes. Jim Schultz says he loves the phrases. Keep it up. I talk with a girl and always tell him what you have to say. Tell her what you have to say. Yeah, I've got to make sure that I have to make sure that I run the phrases past my wife. Brian Hatcher, good morning. Brian Hatcher, Southern California, Huntington Beach, in the chat room, baby. Maurice LeBlanc, I seen your last video about your chicken stand. Did you try chicken feet or maybe intestine? I've had the intestine several times. It's really popular, but I've never been a fan of the chicken feet. It's a whole lot of work for a tiny, tiny little bit of meat, and it's just not worth it to me. Bukit, my Kaliti. Yeah, I'm ticklish. She hugged me. She was surprised and said, Bukit. Oh, that's funny. Pittsburgh Steelers 30, Tampa Bay 10, third quarter. 10-9-8. Oh, it's only 7:25 in California. There you guys go, you football fans. There's a little update on the wow, 21 people in the chat. Thanks for coming in, you guys. I haven't had this many in quite a while. We've been talking about moving to the Philippines soon. This is Merc 3. We've been talking about moving to the Philippines soon. One thing holding us back, the noise, the roosters, kids, and rude people and music. Yeah. Well, Merc 3, I would consider maybe Zambales somewhere. Something that's a little more province-y even than where I'm at here. We're lucky. We don't have a lot of rudeness here. I've heard other expats talk about even through Facebook and whatnot. I've heard a lot of other expats talking about how the karaoke started at 6 a.m. one day, and that's there's a rule in this where we live that the music can't go past 11 p.m. So you have to shut it down, and everybody seems to follow that. For all the expats, you need a Tagalog phrase. Do you have a sister? Okay, Clyde, that's going to be the next one. That'll be the next one. I'm actually going to write that down, and that's going to be our next Tagalog phrase of the day. Do you have a sister? This is I've got pages and pages of phrases and words that all came from Rosetta Stone, my Rosetta Stone classes when I was taking Rosetta Stone. So this is what I'm passing on to you guys. And then, as well as, what Melanie and the kids have taught me. Where is my little notepad? Oh, there it is. Got it right here. Do you have a sister? Do you have a sister, baby? I like that one. That's a good one. Because I'm just about out of phrases. I was going to start giving you guys numbers next. We were going to start counting. Hold on, let me write this down. Do you have a sister? The next video, we were going to start counting. Do you have? All right. Thanks, Clyde. Yeah, and if you guys have any ideas for phrases that you want to learn, something that you want to say in English, just tell me. I'll translate it for you. Or easy enough. You can Google that, right? Although you got to remember that Google is not always Rain Man. Hello. Google does not always translate things very good. Merc 3 says your Tagalog is expanding. Oh, great. That's good to know. And I'm, as I've said many times, guys, I am no expert. I'm only passing on to you guys what I've been taught by my family and what I have used. I'll tell you something that's funny. Every time that I'm walking, a lot of times I'll go over to the Saturday market by myself, and everyone's so surprised that I'm going. All my neighbors go, "Oh, you're going to the market by yourself?" They're always so surprised. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going." I speak enough Tagalog that I can get through the market, you know. And then most Filipinos do speak enough English to get us through the transaction. If I blow it on my Tagalog. Weird Squad, you and your wife should try the 23andMe DNA test, and she has any Filipinos. That they everyone needs to hit the like button, says Jim Schultz, and get used to it. Yeah, Dennis. Yeah, I think Dennis is talking about the noise, and sometimes you just have to. Okay, I think I'm getting behind again because the chat's flashing, and then it moves up, and then I just don't see where I'm at. What's up, mofos? Rain Man. Island Dan and Brian Hatcher are watching the football game. Steelers and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Carmelo Galizo. Hello, sir. How are you? Phil's has been sober the last few chats. No red horse from the closet. Kapatid Babae Mo. Something about a girl. You got me on that one, Merc 3. Yeah, I think I drank some Red Horses last night when I edited that video, and I kind of screwed it up a little bit. So I left about 2 minutes of the video off of that. I don't know what happened because I can't find it now. Carmelo, when I arrived in Chicago in the 70s, I lived with a black family. I learned how to eat chitlins and collard greens. I don't think I could eat chicken feet. Oh. Carmelo, I love collard greens. I have a collard green recipe that I would make when I was in the U.S., and man, they cooked for about 8 hours on the stovetop, and man, were they good. Merc 3's been drinking for a few hours. All right. So you're good and primed for the chat. No wonder you were heckling me before I even logged in. You got a few beers in you, probably. Rainman says, my kapatid kabang babae. Again, something about a girl. Kapatid. Brian Hatcher, Clyde Seaside. Everyone's saying that now. My kapatid kabang babae. Kamusta ka? It means, do you have a sister? Ah, that's, do you have a sister? Okay. Gotcha. Well, I guess we don't have to put it in the video now, do we? Maybe I still will. Jack Nightcrawler, how are you, sir? Welcome to the live chat from North Caloocan City, where the city meets the province, baby. Carmelo, yeah. Is it true that Tagalog and Spanish are alike? Yes, that's very true. Rainman says, I was able to find your barbecue location as well as your house from your motorcycle video. Don't worry, I'll keep the locations hush hush. Well, I have Google Maps is amazing. Yeah. Rain Man is stalking me. Yeah. Clyde says we need to start a chicken feather business in here in the Philippines because there's got to be millions of feathers floating around somewhere, right? Yeah, a lot of the words between Tagalog and Spanish are exactly the same. Como está, for example. How are you? The days of the week, I believe, are the same too. I think they are. Here we go. And the chat is tell Melanie gusto ko yakap and see what she does. Jim Schultz, how far is the area where the barbecue is from my house? It's see, on the motorbike, with no traffic on the motorbike, about less than 15 minutes. It's right in front of Melanie's sister's house. Right in front of Melanie's sister's house. Yeah, you did really good, Rain Man, if you found the barbecue location, because that's not easy to find. Bagong Silang is a very, very busy. My house is not so hard to find on Google Maps, but that barbecue stand is. So you're really good there, Rain Man, with your Google Maps. Brian's asking, how did I like that LRT? It was awesome. I've been on the MRT a couple of times, and the MRT was a little uncomfortable because it's super, super crowded. And the LRT is not so much, wasn't so crowded. Carmelo, okay, great. Thanks for coming by, Carmelo. Always great to talk to you, buddy. Another Southern California friend, Palm Springs area, Carmelo Galiza. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. Means I want a hug. Okay. Gusto ko yakap. Gusto ko. Hug means yakap. Yakap means hug. Yeah, Bagong Silang, Jim Schultz, it's about as rough as it gets, okay? Considered one of the, to be honest with you, considered one of the most dangerous areas in Metro Manila. Or not Metro Manila, but in this area. I would imagine Tondo is pretty dangerous too, which is in Metro Manila. But Jim, Melanie actually lived there in that house when she was a kid. Okay. The family, there's been a family house there for years and years. There's been a family home there. So, yeah. What was I going to say? I have to get back over there and take a video of this house that's across the street from the family home that was built for 60,000 USD. Beautiful home. My God. I don't know why I didn't video it that day. I don't know why. Weird Squad Entertainment Vlogs. Random question for you. Do you know all your ancestry background? I just did a DNA test and I do not know. No, I've never done that, Weird Squad. I know it. I know several people who have and say it's very interesting. Oh, this thing's getting kind of hot. I'm going to have to go. Can't wear my badass biker scarf anymore. It's just too hot. The LRT depends on the time of day. Yeah, we were traveling basically before noontime, so obviously that was a good time. If you saw the end of the video, there was nobody on the train. Melanie and I had the whole back seat to ourselves. And nice head. Yeah, there's There's no hair going on. Looks like a Marine again. Yeah. Man. Depends on the area. Merc 3 says if you look afraid as a foreigner. Yeah. Yeah, I have always I've never really worried about stuff like that, you know? I would go into bad neighborhoods in the US and never really, I don't know. I guess it's how you carry yourself, you know? Not that I'm asking for trouble, but I guess I live on the edge a little bit. And I like an area that has a little bit of edge. My goodness. Island Inn, I do have a motorbike, yes. The next video, I think, is a motor vlog I'm doing. Yeah. Low drag haircut, wind resistant. Yeah. Is Bruce Willis my twin? That's not the worst thing, I guess, right? Bruce Willis is a kind of a cool guy. Yeah, I should watch it a little bit closer, Brian. But yeah, I agree. It looks like I've gotten like 10 in the last week, I think. I should really pay more attention to that. But, you know, I guess because I'm still so small, it just doesn't. It's not something I really think about a whole lot right now because I'm so small. But I guess you think about it a lot less. Like, you look at Brian. Brian's got like 35,000 now, I think. Man, he really exploded there after a while. Rainman says the road leading to that dead end where all the squatters live seems to be a wide enough road and not that busy. Yeah, it is. It is surprisingly, it's surprisingly a wide road. Yeah, I agree with you. Especially for a squatter's area. It's actually pretty good. Yeah, Brian caught up with Joseph. Joseph and Jinky Fish. Yeah, Merc 3, that's true. That's very true. Yeah, I saw that. I think he's going to, is he giving away his Rusi and buying another one? I just saw a video about a Kawasaki Ninja 400. Weird squad. I would say that the weather between Florida and the Philippines is very, very similar. He's buying a bike for the giveaway. Wow. Well, that's something. And what if somebody wins? I mean, what if somebody wins from the USA? Then what? What's going to happen? Seems weird to give a motorcycle away. I don't know. I mean, how cool is that? It would have to get you some views, right? I'm thinking. I don't know Joseph's story, you know, but he seems like a guy that's even much younger than me. And he looks like he's doing pretty good, right? Man. He's living a much different life than I am, that's for sure. Oh, okay, Brian, I gotcha. Yeah, I haven't been watching. When I do get on the laptop, I just sort of, I'm all over the place. You know, a lot of times I try to follow the people that I have subscribed to, but then I end up going all over the place. Merc 3, several experiences in 10 years. Stand or seem strong but friendly. Yeah. He's trying to get sponsored for the bike. Okay. His Philippine subs. Nice. Well, that's going to be quite a. He's going to get some views on the night of the giveaway, right? I mean, think about that. Rain Man says it's nice that you have a river or creek behind your house. No immediate neighbors behind you unless you got squatters along the water. We don't have any squatters along the water. Yeah, Rain Man, this is a subdivision that's kind of. They try to. I only know of one. We only know of one squatter home within the community, and it just popped up about 3 months ago. I was surprised that they were allowed to do it, but Clyde Seaside, a lot of these guys use clickbait titles that reach more viewers. Yeah. And some guys really aren't in vlogging for the enjoyment, just the money they can raise. Always talking about subs and money. Okay. Yeah, Clyde. Um, Although I'm hoping one day to make a little bit of something from this. It would be nice if I could make a little bit of money from it. I would like to. I certainly didn't start out that way. I never thought I would get enough. I never ever thought I would get enough followers. But it seems like I've got a little bit better at it as time went on, and that's why you guys are here, I guess. Would you want to check out my father's website, almost like Facebook, but without spams and etc.? Maybe. Oh, your father. You said that your father's the same age as me. Brian Hatcher says that, he's 40 years old. Wow. Yeah, so he is quite a bit younger than me. Joseph. We're talking about Joseph, My Life in Metro Manila. Philippine Scenes. Hello, Poe. How are you? Rainman says, Rainman's following Joseph as well and says he thinks he's going to have a hard time giving away the bike because the giveaway is contingent on him getting a certain amount of subscribers. Oh. Yeah. Philippine Scenes. We had the river breach the bridge there. I want to say Thursday or Friday night, and we didn't even think it rained that hard. So it must have rained much harder upstream. Mercury 3, does your Marine experience help you? My military experience helps me. Are non-military people at a disadvantage, in your opinion, there? Well, that's a good question. Let me think about it for a second, Mark. That's a good question. Right on. I'll tell you this. There's not a lot of discipline in the Philippines. So, and I mean culturally, from the people. And that's what I got from the Marine Corps is, structure, discipline. And there's very little of that goes on here. And this is just my experience, you guys, with my family and whatnot. We struggle to. I've tried so hard to get them organized and things like that, but it just doesn't. God, I don't want to be offensive to anybody. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to. Let me think about it for a second, Merc 3, but that's a great question. I have found to be honest with you, that my military background has actually made things a little more difficult for me here, because I want to I want things done a certain way. I want things to make sense, and I want things to have. I want a place for everything and everything in its place, and that doesn't work here. No one seems to get that, why that's important. Brian Hatcher. Brian gained a lot of subs when he started vlogging the Crucixion in the province during last Christmas. Okay. Robert Hahn, thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, for the, I don't know what that is. W12,000. Thank you so much, Robert Hahn. If Joseph does not reach a certain amount of subscribers, then he will not be able to earn enough AdSense money to buy a new bike to give away. His giveaway is contingent on getting more subs. Oh. Jim Schultz, I have not had to use the medical system here yet. No. I went for a, what's it called? Just a cleaning, and that was really bad. I think I'll be looking for a new dentist. Super cheap cleaning, but she didn't, it wasn't good. Okay, sorry, you guys. I'm just a little bit behind. The motorbike guy in Jinky with having their first baby. Yeah. Yeah, they're about to have a baby, Jinky Fish. Hey, Phil, not want to bust your bubble, but there's a spider crawling on your shoulder. Is there really? Would not surprise me at all. Oh, Clyde Seaside. I see what you're saying. Yeah, JLB is. There's a lot of people that don't like him, and I don't really understand. I don't really understand, because I haven't followed JLB super close, but JLB was like one of the first vloggers to support me and my channel, and I always have tried to do the same with him. I went into his live chat a couple of times. I'm sorry, you guys. Kind of fighting a cold here again. I'm sorry. Oh. The Crucifixion. Robert Hahn, again, thank you so much, sir. I really, really appreciate it. Rain Man, $1 is easy enough to make, but making hundreds of dollars is another matter while in the Philippines. Yeah. Oh, gotcha. You can't fool a Marine. Come on. Let's see. It was 40. Let's see what the rate is today, huh? The bank rate. We'll just look at the bank rate. That's all. I haven't been into town, so I don't know what the money changer's paying. Typically 0.3 higher than the bank rate. Let's see. USD is 54.2. AUD 39.4. And the euro is at 63.7. 54.2 USD today. Slim Jim, how are you, buddy? You can't fool a Marine. Phil, I'm sorry, man. I'm a prankster, not a good one either. That's okay. It's okay, Weird Squad. We welcome everybody here. Pranksters, non-pranksters, people who are serious about the Philippines, some who really aren't that serious. Is Philo my real name? Philo is just a nickname. My actual name is Phil, Phil. Yeah, Dennis Brock. I think he is in Korea. Yeah. Thanks for coming in, Slim Jim. Good to see you again. We have a lot of the same guys that come back every time. Clyde Seaside is make in bank interest and shares dividends in Australia and Philippines. Oh, there you go. Merc 3, there are some I don't like, but I respect and support you. There are some I don't like, but I respect and support you. It seemed that some became twisted with YouTube fame. I will digress at that, as most followers are not truly there. Oh, yeah. Um, that's probably true, huh? With some, the Dasoviches got really. They changed a lot when they got big, but they got big from other things besides YouTube, right? I mean, he was on the Philippines Big Brother, and he got big. I used to follow the Dasoviches, not the sister, but not Haley, but Pinoy Big Brother. Yeah, Rain Man. Island Dan, thank you so much, sir. Will Dasovich, sorry. Yeah, I was following him when he was a small channel, and then he really changed when he got famous. All of a sudden, which I would imagine that happens to a lot of people. You know, it's probably easy to criticize somebody when you haven't walked in their shoes. Brian Hatcher, Melanie's mom is here right now from Japan. We are probably going to wait until my Balikbayan visa is about to expire, which would be 12th or 13th of May. Okay, 12th or 13th of May is when my Balikbayan visa expires. We'll probably head to Japan maybe around the beginning of May. I'm pretty sure that we have to apply for a visa for Melanie there for that too. So, Robert Hahn, I'm all the time enjoying your videos. Thank you so much, Robert. I appreciate that, man. I really do. That's what makes me go out and make another video, is you saying that. You know, it would be, God, I went a long time. I didn't really start getting big until I moved to the Philippines. My channel was so small. Until I moved here and started doing, 3-4 videos in the Philippines a week. My channel probably would have died if I would have stayed in the U.S. Because although I had, I had over 100 videos of the Philippines. Still, I was living in the U.S. at that time, and the channel really shifted. Even though it was still called Philo in the Philippines, Melanie and I were living in Southern California, and we tried to continue vlogging, but Phil, the Philadelphia. No, that's Brian.
Am I right?
Tuesday and Friday.
Is it Tuesday?
Yeah, what a great idea to do it on the computer. Why am I so dumb? Why did I want to draw it out?
Tuesday.
Tuesday and Friday.
Oh, sorry. It can change.
That's cool.
It's Thursday.
My name is Jeremiah Phoenix Butler, but I'm just known as Phoenix or JP. All right, JP. That's a long name, dude. It must be, tough filling out forms at the DMV and stuff. Will Dosovich exploded. Yes, he did. Jim Schultz. Sorry, you guys. I'm just a little bit behind on this. Island Dan, thank you again so much for that donation. I really, really appreciate it. Jim Schultz, I really enjoy when you interact with the kids in your neighborhood. Good job on the BB nets. Yeah, the kids are really the best. The kids are really the best, and I've become like a big brother to them, especially with supplying the basketball net when the basketball net wears out, because it makes a big difference to have a net on there when you're playing, and to not have one. They're all very appreciative of that. Yeah, Clyde Dosovich's. Yeah. But I was following him when he was probably making his own videos, very early on. I was watching him. Yeah. Is he in the millions now, really? I didn't think he had that many. Merc3 says when a Pinoy would yell, "Hey Joe," in the province, I yell, "Hey Phil." He asked, "What you call me Phil?" I said, "Because you are from Philippines." Yeah. I get the "Hey Joe" here a lot. Oh, okay. So Will Dosovich went to college for this, so that it makes sense. Well, he learned well because he got big. Jim Schultz says, "I couldn't live in Angeles City being married. There's too much temptation." Yeah, there's a lot of truth to that. Brian Hatcher says, "Congrats to the hard work for that." Yeah. Melanie was, and the patience that woman has. Well, she's married to me, so she must have a lot of patience. Merc3, what's the ratio of Filipino to foreigner subs? Merc3, I have no idea. I don't even think that I can really find that out. There is a demographics button, but it doesn't tell me which sub is from where. It only tells me the percentage of subs, right, that are from a certain country. So I don't know. I don't have that many. I don't have that many Filipino subs. I don't think. Rain Man, do I plan on having children with my wife? No, we have 2 already. Am I happy with having stepchildren? Yes. I'm not a big fan of babies, so that baby to 2-year-old phase is. Merc3 says, "I do a great job with the locals. I miss those small interactions." Yeah. The people around the neighborhood are all really great. The kids especially, when the kids see that. Sorry. Shit. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go 3 hours today. I'll lose my voice. When the kids see I've got the camera going, they know. They're all subscribers, or they all know my channel, so they know they're going to be on YouTube, and they get excited about that. Merc3, you do I think he has 1.3 million subs. Wow. I follow a guy named Casey Neistat. If any of you guys know Casey, it's a New York City vlogger. He's got 11 million. Jim Schultz, do the neighbors all think that I'm wealthy? I don't know. I don't know if they think I'm wealthy, Jim. They probably do, yeah. They probably do. It's little do they know. There's no wealth here at all. We live on a budget here in this house. Yeah. Merc 3, all Pinoy thinks the foreigner's rich, yeah. Jim Schultz says, what drives me crazy is that there are so many that are very wealthy, yet most are dirt poor. Yeah, the poverty level here can be shocking for those that aren't regular visitors or haven't experienced the poverty. It's pretty staggering in some areas. A lot of people that are visitors to the Philippines they might not go to that area where they have to see it or deal with it. But Makati and Global City, for example, in Manila, if you're somebody that comes into the Philippines for business, I've got a good friend in the U.S. whose wife travels to Manila about once a month, but she stays she's in the Global City area, so she grabs a cab from the airport, and she doesn't really see. She sees some of it on that cab ride, but she has no idea what the Philippines is really like. Weird Squad, I've got a long name. I'm just French Canadian, Puerto Rican, Native American. Jeez. Bond, James Bond. Sounds. Brian Hatcher says it sounds like a few of your other subscribers are going to meet us in AC in November. Yeah, maybe, Brian. Maybe. We've got. You're not the only one coming at that time. There's. I can't remember who else is coming in November as well. Plus, Melanie and I have a. We have a. I'm seeing comments come up on my YouTube channels. Lost my train of thought. Sorry. Oh, Melanie and I have an iPhone 10 that broke, and they won't fix it here because it's from the U.S. So we've got somebody coming. Melanie's cousin, who lives in San Francisco, has a Filipina friend that's going to be here in November. She's going to carry that phone back to the U.S. for us, so we can get it into the Apple Store and get it fixed. Merc 3, the neighbors are great, but they need to learn quiet time. They don't know how to respect neighbors there. Yeah, again, Merc 3, where I live, we don't really have that problem. It's very rare that we have any issues here with the neighbors. Everyone's pretty good here. Dennis Brock says you've got to get out of the city. Yeah. Jim Schultz says it would be tough to support a family driving a trike. Yeah, Jim, but there's plenty of people that do it. Plenty of people doing it, man. Dennis says he might try and make it up. Okay. Dennis Brock might try and come up. There you go, Brian. Dennis is, I know Dennis is one of them. There's somebody else, too, that's going to be here in November. I don't remember who it is. Where's Philly Brian? He should be up here. Jim Schultz, Philly Brian almost always comes into the chat. He probably will stop in and say hi. He probably will stop in and say hi. Let's go basketball game tonight. Weird Squad. I play basketball with the kids. I try to play at least once a week if I can. Dennis Brock, is the wife going too? Don't know yet. I guess it will depend on what's going on here at the house with the kids, whether Melanie will come with me. I don't know if she's going to go or not. I just don't know. Yeah, Rain Man. I've got 5 courts within walking distance of my house. 3 of those are covered, so you can even play in the rain. Very, very common here. Everybody loves to play basketball, man. It's the number 1 sport here, I think. Easily the number 1 sport. Yeah, Rain Man. The courts are really nice, the covered ones. I've put almost everyone on video that's in the neighborhood. They're in one of my videos. Yes, the family here is Catholic, although we're not, crazy practicing Catholics. Yeah, that's just something we picked up in Bangkok that Melanie thought was cool. So we really love Thailand and traveling there, and that's just a little souvenir from Thailand. Melanie thought it was cool. It's actually like a cloth piece of carpeting. It's like a piece of cloth that's painted on. It's really neat. And she went and got that frame and framed it up really nice. Just something that Melanie really likes. Brian Hatcher, I can see you and Dennis drinking Red Horse, talking about the kids. Yeah. Yeah. Clyde Seaside says, we don't realize how rich we seem to the locals until we do something. I bought a guitar for my fiance's niece. My fiance's cousin said that's 1 month's salary. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, Clyde. I have a similar story. When I bought the bicicleta for my daughter, it was 10,000 pesos, and the neighbors went, my God. Yeah, and actually, I thought it was a little excessive, too. I didn't want to spend that much money on a bike, but it came from S&R, and I was really impressed with the bike. I'm not so impressed anymore. Now it's just a big rust bucket, but I was really impressed with the bike when I bought it. It was American brand, Huffy, and Dennis Brock was in Thailand 72 to 74. Very different place back then. Very different place, man. Jim Schultz, who is the boss in your house? Definitely not me. I mean, yeah. Filipino culture is always the boss. If you're smart enough to learn the culture and abide by it, the culture here is always going to be the boss. Merc 3, what was my favorite trip in the Philippines so far? I've got a couple of trips that I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed our family trip up to La Union province, just east of Baguio. We stayed at a little beach resort there. I don't remember the name of the city now. Buwan? What was the name of the city? Don't remember the name of the city. And I really, really enjoyed Puerto Galera. We love Puerto Galera. We think that place is just awesome. Yeah, Clyde Seaside. Yeah, 8,000. Yeah. Palawan. Brian Hatcher. I would love to go to Palawan. Yes. Boracay is opening back up the 15th of October, I think, for a dry or a soft opening. It says they're allowing only 1,000 tourists per day for the first 10 days in Boracay. I just saw that this morning. Would love to go to Palawan. I've seen nothing but good things about it. Did I try surfing in La Union? I did not try surfing. There was no waves where we were. We were in a city called Bawang, I think. Bawang. And we just really enjoyed it. It was really nice up there, you know. We really enjoyed it there. Boang, Bawang, I think is the name of the city. Shit, now I'm going to have to. Let me see if I can. I don't like to give bad information. I like to give accurate information. Let me see what the name of the city was. No, that's not correct. Buon? No, I'll have to ask Melanie. I can't remember. It's past 100 Islands, but yeah, Bawang, La Union. That's it, Rain Man. Bauang. I was spelling it wrong on Google Maps. Bawang. That's the city that we were in. Very good. Thank you. Thank you for that. I have not been to 100 Islands. We didn't stop. Uh-oh, I'm getting behind. Sorry. Is the wife bringing me lunch? We actually had a late breakfast, so no. Take a trip to Palawan before you decide. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I know Palawan's great. Merc 3, we did not stop at 100 Islands. We were on a mission that day, and we drove up and went straight to our resort. Don't remember the name of the resort we were at either right now for some reason. China Sea Beach Resort in Bawang. China Sea Beach Resort. It was really nice. Lefty all around. There must be so much temptation there. How do you handle that? When you say temptation, are you talking about the girls? Because, yeah, there are loads and loads of beautiful women here. That's for sure. God's JR Gamer, welcome to the chat. Thank you, sir. Hope the water is not brown anymore. Oh, Dennis is talking about our river. No, the river actually looks surprisingly clean for some reason. I don't know why. Robert Madden says that Palawan is also having a sewage problem like Boracay. Yeah, and so is Subic Bay. Brian Hatcher says, I have a lady friend dentist in Palawan. She's a great dentist, does great work. Her Facebook name is Lillian Tan. Ah, very nice. Yeah, Rain Man, just south of San Fernando, which, by the way, I hear is a fantastic place to visit as well. God's JR Gamer says, so you can speak Tagalog because you're in the Caloocan Pinas. I can speak a little bit, buddy. And reasonably priced that dentist. Lefty all around is asking about the price for that dentist, I think, in Palawan. Yeah, Lefty, there are Beautiful Filipinas everywhere you go, and just tons of them. It's just unbelievable. Yeah, exactly, Merc 3. You have to. Okay, Jim Schultz. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. Great to see ya. I'm glad you finally made it. Glad we connected on the live chat, buddy. That was fun. Come back again. Island Dan, you're in Palawan right now. Look up that dentist and mention Brian Hatcher's name. She'll go, oh yeah, I know that guy. Merc 3, Dennis says Merc 3 is 100% right. When you have a beautiful wife, you don't need to worry about the other Filipinas. Charles Brand said he's been married for 40 years. Yeah. Yeah. Clyde Seaside came to the Philippines and met a dentist, and she extracted your wallet. Nice. And left you with a big smile. Lefty all around. You might want to stay a single man. You be a single man and come to the Philippines. You just have to be careful when you come here. Oh, you have been here twice. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you know. It seems like there's 3 girls for every 1 guy here. It's the impression I get when I go out in public, you know. Yeah, that's true, Brian. You have to be on guard here. Oh, okay. You had a great time. Lefty all around has been here twice, both times with his girlfriend. Yeah, 40 years, Charles Brand. That's impressive. I met another expat, you guys, the other day at 7-Eleven. I was so excited. We sat down and talked for about 30 minutes. I got his phone number, and he knows a couple of other expats in the area. And the guy that I met is an English guy who's lived here for 30 years in North Caloocan. I just couldn't believe it. Yeah. Nice move, Island Dan. Brian is asking me if I've had any more close calls like I did on the jeepney. No, Brian, that's the only one I've had in the 10 months I've been here. Dennis, just nothing but water today, buddy. You can hear me. I'm already losing my voice. If I start drinking. Yeah, Brian, that's the one and only time that anything like that has even happened. And I wasn't even exactly sure. I told this story before. We were on the jeepney, me, the kids, and Melanie. We were coming home from the mall. And there was a couple of shady characters that got on and started giving me the eyeball. I don't know if they were what was on their mind, but I just stared them down. And once we got off the Jeep, my daughter said to me, those guys were going to try and rob me. Or they were talking about trying to pick my pocket or rob me. I just stared them dead in the face and let them know it wasn't going to happen. Both of them. There were two of them. So this was in broad daylight. It wasn't even at nighttime. It was probably, I don't know, like 2 p.m. on the jeepney, man. We were coming home from the mall. Lefty All Around says, the woman I was with, I didn't need another woman. What a doll. Yeah, probably how I felt when I was coming here to meet Melanie, you know. Probably the way I felt too. I was just so smitten with my own Filipina, my own wife. Check your dog, you'll feel better. Merc 3, last thing I want to do is have a drink right now. Yeah. Oh, okay. Brian has had a few close calls. He's had some people follow him. Yeah, I think that's why you gotta, you have to be careful. I think I'm even guilty of giving away a little too much information, like the address on the front of my house. Charles Brand says his wife keeps reminding him of how happily married he is. Oh, that's pretty funny. Island Dan, Merc 3 says always the eyes, not an easy target. Yeah, look him straight in the eyes. I just knew that there was something that wasn't right. I didn't know what the two guys were saying to each other, but there was one of them that was just staring me down. And I just knew there was something that wasn't right. And my daughter said, yeah, that they were talking about trying to get into my pockets. Maybe they didn't know that I was with my family and didn't realize that they were going to translate for me what was being said. That's my only guess. But it's okay. It's okay. Island Dan lived in Brazil and said getting robbed there was normal. Yeah, I've heard that about Brazil. One Filipina is always enough. Who needs multiples of Tampo? That's for sure. Very well said, Clyde. Very well said, sir. I'm giving you a thumbs up on that comment. Oh. Dennis Brock, too, yeah. You got a thumbs up from Dennis Brock and me, Clyde, on that comment. Your former wife had a nail. If I'm going to die, can I do it quietly? Yeah. Brian Hatcher, I most certainly will. I most certainly will. I don't think it's going to be anything more than downloading a few forms, and then, although I should know better, this is the Philippines. It's probably going to take me 5 trips to sign up for PhilHealth. 5 trips to somewhere to sign up for PhilHealth. Merc 3, I looked 3 men in the eye and said, Hindi Dito Po. They got off the jeepney. She said they want to rob you, but you are big. Yeah. Yeah, Melanie and I kind of woke up yesterday, runny nose. Thank you, Robert Hahn. Thank you so much, sir, for coming into the live chat. Really appreciate it. Oof. Now here's something interesting I wanted to share with you guys. So Melanie is at the mall the other day and picks this up. It's a brochure about a driving school. Okay. So check this out. Something I found kind of interesting about this. So inside here they have all the prices and everything. Okay, but without trying to let you see that, I'll just read it off to you. Tell me if you can make any sense of this. The manual transmission course for 6 hours of driving is 3,300 pesos. But the automatic course is 6,000 pesos. Isn't a manual transmission harder to drive? Wouldn't you think it would cost more to learn how to drive on a manual than an automatic? Or am I not thinking? Am I thinking incorrectly? Does anybody understand that? Brian, I've had some trolls before, yeah. I've had people like neo-Nazis or somebody come in the room and start spilling hate. Start spilling hate about stop mixing races and why'd you marry a Filipina? You should have married a white girl, I've had it before. I always try to look at the participants. It doesn't seem to work. I don't know why. I don't know if I have something in the settings that's not working. For some reason, it doesn't show me the participants in the chat. I don't know why. I can see that I have 11 people, but it doesn't show me who those 11 people are. And I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or what. But anyway, yeah, but we're just talking about, yeah.
Here's the new one.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, thank you.
With Utis.
Otis is even in there, yeah.
That's your profile.
Huh?
That's your YouTube, di ba? With Utis.
Yeah, that head. Thank you. Yeah, sometimes it works, Brian, and sometimes it doesn't. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know. I just thought it was odd that because learning how to drive a manual transmission is much harder than you would think. You would have to pay more to take that course, but I don't know. Yeah, I agree with Pinoy thinking, Rain Man. I see. The Pinoy here tell your wife to drive and she don't want to. Yeah, backward thinking. Yeah, I guess they think because the automatic costs more money at the dealership that they should charge more for the driving course. That would only make sense in the Philippines, right? That would only make sense here, nowhere else. When Melanie was in the U.S., she got her learner's permit and everything, and we would go out and uh, I tried to teach her, and there were it just I was surprised that she didn't pick it up quicker. I thought we had an automatic Honda Civic sedan, a four-door sedan Honda Civic, new, brand new, and she had a lot of troubles with it, with learning how to drive. I kept thinking that she was going to pick it up so easy and so quickly, but no, wasn't the case at all. She had, I guess she was just so nervous behind the wheel, you know. We would practice in the Walmart parking lot and things like that, and we had a grocery store and CVS down the street from our house, and we'd go there at certain times of day and drive around that parking lot. And there were days when she did really good, and I thought to myself, all right, she's going to get it, you know. And then the next day we would go out, and Nicole, it was like we were starting all over again. So it was hard, and I think it was hard for her too. You know, much harder than she thought it was going to be. But the testing portion of it and understanding the laws and everything she did really good at. It was just the actual physically driving that she struggled with. Brian Hatcher, getting a car will add more problems to your life. Yeah. I think I think we don't know if we're going to get a car or not. I'm thinking to get a trike. Go buy a brand new motorcycle and put a sidecar on it. I think a trike would be cool to have. I don't know. My neighbor's got one, and it's just awesome. Rain Man says she learned later in life, so the fearlessness that's come with youthful exuberance was not there. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you know, when you've driven your whole life, there's probably a lot of truth with that. I picked it up so easy when I was 15, though. When I'm 14, 15 years old, when I learned how to drive so easy. Uh, I thought, you know, and I learned on a stick shift. So yeah, Clyde, and that's true. It would be nice to be able to shuttle the kids to school. It would be nice to be able to, um, yeah. I mean, that's a good thought. You need a car for the expressway or a 400cc motorbike. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't buy a used car. I mean, BDO has a list of cars they've repossessed. You might be able to get a deal. I don't know. You might be able to get a deal through that, but I would be more inclined if I was going to buy a car to get something new. Yeah. I'm just trying to avoid that expense. I really am. Yeah, the car has air conditioning. Just true, Dennis. Yeah, it's a lot easier to learn in America. I can't imagine where they take you for driving school here in the Philippines. I mean, my God, I can't imagine. Where they go, where they take you. There must be a place where they give you like an introduction because you wouldn't want to be on the roads here. It's crazy. The people that have driver's license drive crazy. Imagine somebody who's new and just learning. I mean, I don't know, Merc 3. I would imagine our nephew, John Biani, is over there running the barbecue today. He was here this morning. I don't know if he's here because I've been on the chat now for an hour and a half. Yeah, used cars are expensive. Dennis Brock says where everybody else drives. Oh, Rainman says once the new Toyota Corolla hatchback comes to the Philippines, I think I will be eager to buy one there. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's first of all, you don't get to drive. It's just stop and go traffic all the time. You never see them on the street. Oh, you never see them on the street. Okay. Yeah. Oh, your wife is going to start driving in a couple of weeks. Okay. She's going. Okay. So you'll have. Oh, actually, I saw one. Although it wouldn't be so bad driving around our subdivision. There's not that much traffic. I saw a driving school car in our subdivision a couple of weeks ago. I actually used that as the thumbnail for the video, whichever one it was. Oh, Rain Man, you have a house in Bacolod. Okay. Yeah. Bacolod always looks really nice. That's where Mike Philippines living now, I think. I would not buy a nice bike or car as a foreigner there. You're a target for scam and holdup. Um, yeah, there's probably some truth to that, Merc 3. I bought a nice bike, and I actually kind of wish I would have bought something different, but it's a good motorcycle. Maurice LeBlanc, yes, each island has different trikes, different looking trikes. Rain Man, yes, I'm pretty close to Bulacan, and We don't have horrible traffic here. Every now and then, if they're doing some road work, it's bad, but it's it's not horrible traffic. Not like Metro Manila. Clyde says, I think if I was buying a car in the Philippines, yeah, we like a couple of different Suzuki cars, and they actually do really well here. Suzuki makes a van that's called an APV that seems really nice. Brian Hatcher, there's not always security in our subdivision. No. I'm going to say no to that. In other words, we don't have a guarded gate. There's not a guard there 24/7. Rain Man wishes the jeepneys were taller like the bot bus. Yeah. Well, Rain Man, the average Filipina is probably about 5 foot. So I don't know. We like a lot of the Suzuki cars, that's for sure. Oh, Brian, I would probably just pay cash. If I was going to buy a car, I'd probably just pay cash for it. Rain Man, that's true. The ties are not any taller. Clyde, you saw a Subaru XV. Ah, at the Venice Mall. Ah, nice. Subaru XV. Subarus are expensive, aren't they? Brian, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes on the credit card. But what am I trying to say? I'm going to say yes because my BDO ATM card says Visa on it. I don't know if BDO actually has a Visa for. I'll have to look into that. That's a good question. I still have two visas from Bank of America in the U.S. So I'm in no real hurry, and they're foreigner visas. You know what I mean? So I'm not charged with that foreign transfer rate. Bank of America has travel visas. I've got two of them. Merc 3, do you feel because of your stepchildren, the decisions are harder and stress in your relationship? Merc 3, what's the hardest part for me is just adapting to the culture and adapting to the laid back mentality that everybody has here, especially the kids. I've had more problems with that than anything, and also if I try to point out or correct the kids, it's taken the wrong way. It's taken as insulting, more than, hey, I'm doing this to try and make you understand that we shouldn't do this. It's not taken that way. It's taken as an insult. So yeah, it's very difficult. That's a part of the culture here. Apparently you don't correct children when they do something wrong here. I don't know. Rain Man, Yes, but I'm trying to avoid that. I don't want to spend that money if I can avoid it. Um, I mean, a car. Most of the Suzuki cars are right around 15,000 USD. So you know, it's just yeah, Clyde. I saw that at the motor show when we went to the Manila Motor Show. I think that Subaru was there. We thought the Subarus. I think the Subarus were some of the more expensive cars at the show, if I remember correctly. Or maybe it's just when we saw them all. I might be. Merc3 says we can never relax because of the child. It's hard at times on a relationship. Yeah. Charles Brand says he uses Bank of America Visa. Yeah, me too. I try not to use it because I don't want to. I don't have any income right now. So, does my wife put the kids above me? Um, I don't think so, Merc3, but she doesn't like being in the middle of things. She doesn't like being in the middle. I want things one way. Culturally, they're used to doing things a different way. So, yeah, Brian, it's kind of weird. I'm the breadwinner there, but I'm not the head of the household. Um, um, yeah, they do correct the children there. They just don't feel you can because you're not the biological. Um, yeah, there's some truth to that, I guess. Culturally, no one ever does anything wrong here. So if you point out somebody doing something wrong, it makes you kind of a bad guy here. You know, and I think that translates with the kids too. I don't know. Um, all I know is you do have to be very careful about what you say. Yeah, Charles Brand. I'm head of household in my own mind. Yeah. Mercury 3, my wife has learned, but I need to be careful how I scold. Why are the mothers so protective, even if they lie or steal? Yeah, I don't know, you guys. All I know is, and I've learned this now from several different people, even Filipinos, nobody does anything wrong here. This is a culture where you do not point out, even if you're 100% correct in what you're pointing out, you never ever point out that somebody's doing something wrong. You just don't do it. It doesn't work in this culture. And it just makes you a bad guy when you do. Yeah. The quicker that you can learn that, the easier your time is going to be here. Dan Gillespie, hello, buddy. How are you? My very good friend from Southern California. Video Lux, Eric, thank you for coming in, buddy. Rain Man, exactly. Saving face. It's a saving face culture. And they learn it at a very, very young age here. My kids, you cannot, although my daughter is a lot better. If I correct my son, he is butt hurt and will not talk to me for the rest of the day. He will tompo me for the rest of the day. It's just the way it is. Eric, how you doing, buddy? Videolux.org. Another great channel. Check him out if you don't know him. Yeah, Mercury 3. You know, I just, yeah, Yeah, Eric, we're talking about, me being a stepfather and how that's working out for me and how long it took me to learn that, um, you know, without being offensive to anybody. It's man, I don't even know. You just have to be very careful what you say. It's, our humor, Western humor is very, very different here. It's not taken well. Okay, there you go. Uh, that is a great analogy. Eric has worked, in a call center as in a supervisory type position. And Dennis, yeah, you just have to learn. You just have to learn how to live with it. Yeah, it really is, you guys, a culture where nobody ever does anything wrong. I don't know. Maybe a couple of hundred years ago, they all got together and decided they weren't going to confront one another. Um, yeah, I'm in the drinking / acceptance phase of being a expat in the Philippines. I saw something on Facebook, the 11 steps to expat in the Philippines, and yeah, yeah, okay, great. Did your stepkids ever go to USA? Maurice LeBlanc, no, they didn't. They never made it to the USA, and that's probably a good thing. You know, they have it a lot easier here than they would ever have it in the USA. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm falling behind on the chat a little bit. Tell the child, shovel snow. It's hard. I cannot. I raised 3 kids here, but had a milk excuses why you can't. Oh, yeah. That's something that we haven't talked about often in the live chat too. Are the excuses? It's very common to hear just what I would consider a lame excuse. Being ex-military, working for a big corporation for 31 years, but not here. Here, just any little excuse to get out of doing something is considered acceptable here. And you can't question that. Eric says they often don't get the humor, and I definitely had to redirect the didn't do it correctly terminology. Drinking, yeah. Sarcasm is not picked up. They take your sarcasm literally. Yeah. They get it. They get offended. I have seen a couple of other, I think it was, Ned from My Philippine Dreams has always called it an onion skinned society. The Philippines is an onion skinned society. They're thin skinned and get offended very easily. So you have to be careful. They don't understand. Our humor just does not translate sometimes. Um, where I'm lucky is my daughter. My daughter is very fluent in English, and I can sit down with her and she will understand where I'm going with something or what I mean. But um, yeah, sarcasm gets lost in translation. What's your advice on dealing with the kids? You and fellow connect that way. Yeah, well, Dennis has been here so much longer than me, Brian, that if I say something, he's like, oh, yeah, because Dennis has been through it. Dennis has been here since about 4 years, if I remember correctly. Boy, Merc 3, how did you Americans are like that now. Too many snowflakes now, similar to being onion skin. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Dennis. Okay, yeah. So, Dennis, almost 4 years for you. Eric, thanks for coming in. And Eric, I've been in the JLB live stream before. It gets a little crazy when there's 7, 8 people in there, but he invited me in once, so I went over and did it. It was fun. Yeah, you kind of, you guys, you kind of get to the point, or I've learned, um, you just zip it. You don't say anything. As crazy as that is, like Dennis says, you just got to live with it. I mean, what else you going to do? You know, it would be interesting to hear from, you know, an expat that just doesn't have any kids and has a girlfriend that. Yeah, I was just going to ask you that, Eric. Appreciative inquiry. It's a project management methodology. Instead of pointing out what's not working, you focus on what is working. Yeah. Very good. Very, very good points. But then how do you collectively deal with something that needs work? Let's just say something that needs work. you know, how do you deal with that? A Filipino friend of mine, Tuk Tuk Cali, who's also a vlogger in Angeles City, has said many times there's no such thing as constructive criticism in this country. And okay, then apply what is working to what's not working. Maurice LeBlanc, my wife, was in the USA about 10 months. She came over on a. Yeah, Eric's really good with that stuff, Clyde. Eric's really good with that stuff. Smart guy. Very smart guy. You redirect. You take what is working and layer it over the area where there is an issue. There's Philly Brian. Good morning, Brian. How are you, buddy? Merc 3. That's exactly what I'm talking about, dude. Merc 3, stop pissing on the toilet and floor. Yeah. Just got home from a walk. All right. Did you do a walk around? Philly in the hizzy, my hometown. Yeah, there you go. Video Lux. Thanks for coming in, you guys. Really appreciate it. We were on the subject of parenting, how difficult that can be here for a foreigner coming into a Filipino family that's lived here. That's what we were talking about, how difficult that is. Michael Cruz, have the local people ever made me feel unwanted? Not at all. Not even one time. When you live in an area like I do where there's no foreigners, occasionally you'll get people that just kind of stop and stare at you because they don't see a lot of foreigners here. Ask Brian, he's done it for years. Oh. The big guns are here. Yeah. Eric and Philly Brian, the big guns came into the room. I got to start coming into their room when they go live. Maybe it'll help my channel grow a little bit. Clyde, thanks for the suggestion. I have it on the list. Long list. The locals here are all super friendly, you guys, really. I grew up in Indiana, Speedway, Indiana. Left there at the age of 18, moved to Southern California because I went into the Marine Corps. No, Indianapolis is a very big town, very big city. Indianapolis is a big city. At one time was the 9th largest in the U.S. Speedway is just right there in Indianapolis. So, I mean, I didn't live in downtown Indianapolis, but, you know, it was city life, more city life than anything. Yeah, there you go. Philly Brian. The locals are friendly here when you get away from the Walking Street area. Oh, what was that park? I saw that, Clyde. I couldn't figure out what you were talking about. Something about, there it is, Paco Park. That's got to be in Bulacan. Yeah. That's what you guys were talking about. Sorry. Most foreigners get stuck with kids. The truth comes out after marriage. Sorry, you guys. I'm just getting a little bit behind on the chat here. It's flashing, and then it. Five years in the Marine Corps, lefty all around. I was in the Marine Corps 5 years. No, Brian, I haven't filed any VA paperwork. Did I used to go to the Indy 500 growing up? Yeah. I've probably been to, I couldn't tell you how many Indy 500s I've been to. Oh, okay, Clyde, that's over by Ermita, Paco Park. Melanie has mentioned Paco Park before, too. I know she has. Probably been to 14 at least, 12 or 14 Indy 500s, easy. I actually could walk to it. My house was so close to the track. How did I like my Marine experience? It was great. Got to travel, got to see the Philippines. You learn a lot in the military, and you're there at a young age, so that what you learn there stays with you for a very long time. Uh, Brian Hatcher, have I been to Rizal Park? Yes, but not for any extended period of time. Rizal Park is something I would like to do and go for a couple of days because it's so awesome there. I haven't spent any time. We've only walked through it. Did I see the great Mario Andretti several times, lefty all around in person, several times. AJ Foyt, Mario Andretti, those were the big, the Unser brothers, Bobby Unser. Those were the big racers when I was a kid. The Unsers, the Andrettis, AJ Foyt. Ah, Carmelo, you're from Chicago. Very nice. Yeah. Your house was so close to the airport, the windows would shake. Ah, you're a Hoosiers fan. Indiana University? Or Indiana, yeah, Indiana University with the Hoosiers, right? Maurice LeBlanc are getting a small pension from your service in the Marines. No. When I do collect a pension, it's going to be from the company I worked with for 31 years. I'm not collecting that pension yet. Yeah, Clyde, Chinatown, and then walk through. I don't know. The last time we walked through Rizal Park going to H2O, the Manila Ocean Park. And Rizal Park looks to be like something you could do maybe for 2 or 3 days. There's so much to do there. Sorry, you guys. Is my Marine experience the reason I married a Filipina? Actually, to be honest with you, Thailand was where I was going to. Thailand is where I was going to retire to originally. And for several years, because I made a trip to Bangkok, and Vietnam back in 2007. I spent a month and I backpacked through Bangkok or through Thailand and Vietnam. I backpacked from northern Vietnam down through southern Vietnam. And I had Thailand and Vietnam more on my radar as a place to retire. And then one day I was on this Thailand expat site, and somebody started talking about the Philippines and posting some pics of his Filipina girlfriend. And I thought to myself, man, I should go back to Subic Bay. I should make a trip to Subic Bay and go check out the Philippines. And that's how I got started. That's how I got started on the Philippines. But my original idea was to retire in Thailand. That's where I was going to go. How's the air quality where I live? Lefty all around. It's the air quality here is pretty good, minus the people that. Yeah, Brian, Chinatown. Looks awesome. From the other vloggers that I've just seen, that cruise through there, it looks pretty awesome. Somewhere, sometimes not safe. Lefty all around, all over Metro Manila is, can sometimes be not safe. Ah, Carmelo. Yeah, I spent 5 years in the Marine Corps, stationed at Camp Pendleton. Came over on a Westpac boat and stayed in Subic for 60 days. Yeah, Philly Brian, I think so too. I think your daytime ventures out and around, you're fine. You just need to be. Thanks, Eric. Video Lux. Thanks, Eric, for coming in. You too, sir. Thank you so much for coming in. You just have to be vigilant about, your pockets and things of that nature, and Carmelo, did you see Imelda's shoe closet? Carmelo said he did actually see the stock market is close to 27,000 now. Wow. Yeah, Brian, Philly Brian, I saw the bank rate's 54.2. So that means on the street you're going to get even higher. The bank rate's 54.2. Yeah. Lefty all around was asking how many square feet or meters was it, if you remember. How many square feet was what? Oh, the shoe closet. Sorry. Is Thailand about the same money to live as the Philippines? Yes, it is. Very similar in price. Brian, that my first trip was more focused on Vietnam. We, me and a friend of mine flew into Bangkok, and we spent, I don't know, about 4 days in Bangkok, and it was close to New Year's. And then what happened was our, I don't think you need a visa to go to Vietnam anymore, but back then you did. We had to get travel visas for Vietnam, and they got hung up because of New Year's. So we ended up having to stay in Bangkok, I think, for 3 more days before we were able to get our visas to travel to Hanoi. The Presidential Palace Library Tour, Malacanang. Malacanang? Got to book it. Wow. Presidential Palace Library Tour. That's got to be pretty cool. Excuse me for just a minute, guys. I'll be right back. Ooh, sorry about that. I was busting. Oy, I was busting there at the seams. Okay, where are we at here? Tago ako be big. Na malaki palubi dito na. Something about big here. Merc 3, you got to remember your Tagalog is better than almost all of our Tagalog. Malaki po. How big is your mouth? But I guess Clyde Seaside understands what you said there. Crazy. So you can tour the presidential palace. Apparently so. Well, it doesn't say. It's a presidential palace library tour. No, there you go. That Clyde Seaside guy, he always has a lot of great suggestions. You know, he's done some cool stuff. Lefty, it's the palace. Yeah, the palace library in the grounds. There you go. Lefty all around. How about that bar in Maladi, the famous one? I don't know. You're going to be talking at the LA Cafe, I would think. I've never been there. But it is famous. Yeah, LA Cafe. It used to be called the Manila Cafe, I think, and then they changed it to LA Cafe. Or was it called? It used to be a different name. Wow, 2 hours and 19 minutes, just like that. Still not able to see any of the participants that are in the room. What a bummer. Manila Bay Cafe, right. Then they changed it back to LA Cafe. That's what it was, Manila Bay Cafe. Time flies when you're talking English. Clyde. That's true. Yeah, I'm hoping that I'm able to connect with this guy that I met, this English guy. He was interested in viewing my YouTube channel and everything. He was like, "Well, make sure and send me the link to the YouTube channel, so I can check out your channel," because he's lived here for 30 years. And he told me that when he first came here to North Caloocan, my kid's school was just, it's 3 stories now, but he said the kid's school that they're going to was just the first floor and about half of the size of the first floor. Yeah. cannot figure out why this thing will not show me who's in the room. It's so weird. Participants. Merc 3, I'm still here. Okay, buddy. Yeah, Clyde. Guns N' Roses. Nice. Yeah. Maybe we can go on a motorcycle ride. Philly Bryan and Brian Hatcher and me. Go for a ride through Clark or something. That'd be cool. Yeah, Philly Bryan. You probably already know this, but Brian Hatcher's coming in November. Brian's from right where I lived, very close, Huntington Beach, very close to where I just moved from. Clyde, what I was going to say is he knows, he told me that he knows an ex-Marine, American guy, who's 93 years old and has lived here also for like 25 years or something. So, Clyde, you're exactly right. That's the way I was thinking too. Oh, I missed that, Brian. I thought you said the Philadelphia arena. They're playing in the Philippine arena, the one next to my house here in Bulacan. No way. Guns N' Roses? Yeah, I'm sure that's right by my house here. It's right off of the, it's on my way to Angeles City. It's on the right-hand side. You see it on the NLEX when you're going up the Philippine arena. Yeah. It's not far from my house at all. I see it every time I come to Angeles. It's on the right-hand side there when you're going north. That's insane. Guns N' Roses. Wow. I might have to look that up. I heard they're still hitting it pretty hard, although they all look real fat. Is that really the largest arena in the world? Wow. Yeah, the big round one. That's it, Dennis. I believe that because I tell you what, when you're on the NLEX and you're going north and you see that thing, actually, isn't there two arenas there? Or it's a big church and then an arena, right? The Iglesia Ni Cristo built the arena. Wow. But yeah, that's what it is. There's an Iglesia Ni Cristo. Philly Bryan. There's an arena and a stadium, right? Okay. But I was just going to say that thing is ominous, man. You see that, and you don't. I mean, you just say to yourself, "My God, that looks massive." I had no idea it was the largest arena in the world. That's cool. Now I'm going to want to go. There's probably a YouTube video about that, I bet. Now I'm going to want to go look for something on that about that. Take me down to the Paradise City where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh, baby. Guns N' Roses. I just can't imagine. How funny is that? Now you would expect Journey to play there, right? Because they got that Filipino singer who's the lead singer. I saw them in the U.S. in Southern California. Bruno Mars. I think Bruno Mars just played at the Mall of Asia. I think. Yeah, Arnel Pineda. Arnel Pineda sounds just like the original Journey singer, Steve something. Boy, my memory is just for shit lately. Philly Bryan says in his Steve Perry. There you go. Yeah, I saw a documentary on Arnel Pineda. I thought they saw him on YouTube singing Journey songs. But what a story, huh, for that guy? Can you imagine? He just has this voice where he sounds like Steve Perry, and then, man, he does sound like him. I mean, we went and saw him live, and you would think his voice is so similar that you would think it's the real Steve Perry singing. It's just incredible, and he's got all this energy, you know. Clyde Seaside, an outdoor concert next month with Foreigner. Shania Twain is still touring, huh? My wife, Melanie, loves Shania Twain. I've seen Bon Jovi. I've seen Bon Jovi before. Philly Bryan Louisa saw him in the R&B club here in AC. No shit, before he got famous, before he went with Journey. Now that's cool. Wow. That's crazy. I don't know, Lefty All Around. I'm just a small channel. I couldn't tell you. Lefty All Around, I am all over the place. One day I'm watching Thai vloggers. The next day I'm watching Airbus A380 channel, whatever that is. I'm all over the place. Philippine vloggers. Yeah, I watch that guy Philly in the Philippines. You guys know him? He's got a small little channel. Couple of cats. Yeah. The Let Show. Yeah, that's true. Merc3 says don't watch that guy. Yes, but it helps to be overseas. Dennis Brock just got a load of Red Horse in. All right. Get those things in the reef, man. So they're ready to sell by 6 p.m. That's cool. That's cool about that arena. I had no idea. I'll have to do some research on that now. No, Dennis is at the store. Dennis runs a Sorry Sorry store. Maurice LeBlanc says he was just checking the Guns N' Roses tickets. For Manila or for... Oh, for Manila. Are they saying the concert's in Manila? Because it's not really in Manila. They're from $41 to $884 Canadian. Wow. Philly Bryan says they're stocked with Red Horse there. Yeah. They got to be cold, baby. Or if they're not cold, then you got to go buy that damn tube ice. Right? That's how we do it here. You got to buy the tube ice, then bang the tube ice against the side of your house. Bam! To make the little ice cubes. And Clyde Seaside. Hey, if you guys find a Philippines koozie, man, we gotta get one to Clyde. Oh, Brian, you were looking at it. There's not many seats left. You know, I wonder how come. I mean, I watch ABS, CBN. I wonder how come they don't advertise stuff like that more. Is there like a social media site or a Philippines site that people go to find out about stuff like this? Because I haven't seen any advertisements, even on Facebook. No one's posted anything. And I mean, that's Guns N' Roses coming to town is pretty big. I mean, it doesn't get much more American than that, right? Rain Man says he was at the last Grateful Dead concert in Chicago. Wow. Back in 95. There was a mentally ill man walking down the street on Saturday in your town. The first thing I thought was doing a YouTube video. Titled, "Should We Reopen the Mental Asylums?" Oh. Dennis Brock says they have the coldest beer around, baby. Take that, Philly Bryan. Chismis. Chismis. Gossip, gossip. Clyde Seaside says you see San Mig koozies in some of the bars that can't buy them. Yeah, it seems like almost every bar in Angeles has them. And some of them look like they've had, 5,000 or 6,000 beers in them. They're so old. Yeah, Brian will plug me. Brian's plugged me before. The last time Brian plugged me, I got a bunch of new subs. Dennis Brock, you can see about it on TV after the TV show, before the new show comes on. Snatch and run with the koozie. Yeah. Well, you know, Philly Brian, as much walking around as you and I both do, and I've got a market that comes to our subdivision. He's right. I've never. Clyde has said this to me quite some time ago, and I was like, yeah, you're right, man. I never see them, and I walk all over Manila, going with Melanie or whatever. It's just something you don't see. It's very odd, and maybe it's because the culture here is not too. Sorry, I'm getting behind again. You're sort of under the radar with most expat YouTubers. I think that's a good thing. A lot of hate out there. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I was going to say that very same thing, Philly Brian. There's really not. There's really not. I don't notice a lot of haters, but there's some controversy here and there. Yeah, yeah. There's just a. Yeah, that's true. There's way more positive, actually, than anything else. You know, it seems like there's a lot more. You know, just regular guys like us that are just. We do it for fun and we do it to be informative and to help people and. Um, Plus, it's cool. It's cool to have. It's cool to have people that follow and that make the comments and the positive comments, and it's what gets you going. You didn't hear about the Thrilla in Manila. They were all hollering about happening in January. The Thrilla in Manila. I don't know. I just got here in January. I moved here the 7th of January, so I don't know what that is, Lefty all around. Maybe somebody else, Clyde, maybe somebody knows what he's talking about. I've only lived here since January, so I'm still growing my cultural wings. Yeah, Brian. That shows, I think, Philly Brian. That's the first thing I thought about was the Thriller in Manila. Ali Frazier, right? Isn't that correct? Ali Frazier? And we're talking, God, that had to be sometime in the 70s, wasn't it? '75. Very good. Thanks for that, Rain Man. I mean, I could Google it here, but the Thriller in Manila. I was, like 10 years old. Thank you very much. God, imagine what Manila was like in 1975. How different it was to be here. Thanks, Merc3. Clyde Seaside. That's why I don't check JLB. He's actually from my city. Yeah, he's from Adelaide too, right? He's just looking for clickbait. Boomers versus Gilas. Ali Frazier. Anybody that remembers the Thriller in Manila? Boy, oh Ali, man, he was quite the shit back then. Robert Leibold, thank you for that comment. Yeah, Maurice LeBlanc, they have the fight on YouTube. Wow. That's pretty cool. Seems like these days you can see almost anything you want on YouTube. I've always been a big fan of flying, so I get into these videos where they're in the cockpit. There's like a cockpit channel on YouTube now where you can fly into different airports and you can just pick, flying into LaGuardia or flying into O'Hara on an A380 Airbus or something. And to me, it's just fascinating. I love that shit. Dennis Brock, you were in Korea in 75. Oh. Merc 3 says it's better. Manila was better then than it is now. Yeah, I don't know. It's just hard to, imagine. It was 110 degrees in that arena for the fight with the humidity. Yeah, I bet. Jack Johnson, okay. Yeah, I haven't seen a cockfight, Rain Man. I've got several neighbors who are raising them, and wow, you talk about an impressive bird. Moose Cage, hello, sir. How are you? Thanks for joining. Charles Brand says in 71 it was much better then, much less. Yes, Moose Cage, things are going well. We're just doing a live stream. Melanie made me a sign. Oh. That's pretty cool, huh? That's pretty cool. I better put that somewhere where it doesn't get damaged. Yeah, everybody kept asking me because my live chat was so random. At first, I was just doing it when. Yeah, at first I was just doing it when. You should watch a live cockfight and pretty intense moments. Yeah, I'm sure that will Pac-Man and Mayweather too. Melanie likes the live chats, so you stop filming her ass. Oh. Yeah, it's harder, I think, for a foreigner to watch something like that. Here, it's really just a way of life, right? It's a cultural thing. They're really quite into it here. But my neighbor lets me every now and then when I go by his house. You guys have seen him in a couple of my videos. He lets me pick those birds up, and man, those birds are impressive. I mean, when you can feel the muscles underneath their legs, in their chest, and the side, unbelievable, man. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know if there's a. Surely there's a place close to here that has them, but I don't know if Melanie's into that. I could probably go with her brother or something, maybe sometime, but I don't know. Yeah, they spend money. They spend money and care into the bird. Clyde says you should go to the fights and get the losers for the barbecue. Oh shit! I don't know if you can even eat. Can you eat that kind of a bird? I wonder. Yeah, Dennis. Dennis says no. Mark Magno, back in my home country. Welcome to the chat, by the way, Mark. He says back in his home country, we raise them, and then when they're old, you eat them. Oh, okay. So you do eat fighting cocks. I would imagine that's what happens to them. Then that's the family eats them. Ugh, it seems kind of weird. I guess as a foreigner, you kind of build an attachment with the animal, right? That's what we've always been conditioned to do in the West. So it's hard to imagine. Charles Brandt says that you use 10,000 pesos. Does that mean they have to pay 10,000 pesos to enter the fight? Is that what you mean? The owner of the bird has to pay 10,000? Native Manuk, tough meat. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, that it wouldn't be very good. But this guy says, yeah, they eat them. Or maybe it is tough meat and they just eat it. Rainman says, go to a cockpit and the vendors there sell the birds that have died in the fighting pits. Oh, really? So the owner doesn't. Brian Hatcher, I've seen her. She's actually one of my followers. I've seen her, Gyrocopter Girl. She probably does well on views, wouldn't you think? The girl Filipina Life, I think, must be doing good on views too, because she's a pretty cute girl and she does a really good job at uh, what do I say? What's the word? There's an entry fee to fight your cocks. Yeah, I thought that's what Charles was saying, that it was 10,000. Hey, why are people like Philly in the Philippines and others always going to the money exchange if they live there and trading USD? Can't they just go to the ATM and withdraw pesos? Uh, well, Philly Brian is in the room. He can probably answer that for you. I rarely ever go to the money exchange because I send the money directly to Melanie's bank account. So only time I go to the money exchange here is if for whatever reason I send myself USD, which I normally don't do. You get less money. Yeah, it depends on. Yeah, you have to kind of weigh it. The way you send yourself money. Always go to the money exchange if they live there. Oh, Dennis Bronco saying you get less money if you take. Tucker God. Oh, thanks for that, Brian. That's cool. You get less money when you You get charged more money when you take pesos from your US or United States account. I think that's what Dennis is saying. Yeah, Rain Man. Yeah. Cockfighting was still legal in some southern states in the 80s. Yeah. Yeah, Moose Cage. You can send yourself USD and then like go to Western Union and pick up the USD and then take it and exchange it. And a lot of times you'll get more money that way. Actually, I've done the math, and there's really not much difference from sending yourself uh, pesos and sending yourself USD. It's about the same amount of money. It comes out to about $7 or $8 is what it's going to cost you to do that. That's what I'm paying. And that's on $1,000. Oh, sorry. Ugh. Yeah, Brian. Charles Brand said the rates are higher outside the banks. Yeah, yeah, that's true. The money exchangers are always giving you a better rate. You got to get a drone. Phil Bryan's drone footage of Subic was unreal. Yeah, it was pretty cool. He wasn't really happy with it. I talked to him a day after he put that up. There was some artifacting in it. He figures that one of the settings on the camera got messed up. Games don't save your money and throw your camera in the air. Games, I think some autocorrect got in there and messed up what you were saying, Merc 3. Yeah. Yeah, Brian, is that the one that you were talking about? I'll give you another name that gets a lot of views too. What is this? What is this girl's name? She's like a Chinese tech. Oh, it's funny. Normally her videos will come up because I've watched her videos before. See if I can find it real quick. Naomi, sexy cyborg. Naomi, sexy cyborg. Check that channel out. She's pretty hilarious. Good morning, Joe. Thanks for joining the chat, buddy. Michael Fazio. Thanks for joining the chat, buddy. Great topic, money exchange topic, but it's so complex. The banks here and in the US have so many fees. My bank charges $60 to make a transfer under 10 grand. Oh, wow. Michael Fazio in the Philippines chat room, baby. Love this guy. So, wow, that's a lot of money. $60. I don't even get charged that by Western Union. I'm only paying like $8 to transfer. I normally transfer $1,000 at a time to my wife. So I just transfer it to her bank account. It's a bank-to-bank transaction. So I don't get charged for the transaction, but I take a little hit on the exchange rate, Michael. You know what I mean? Like if it's 54, if the bank rate's 54, Western Union will give me 53.5 on the exchange. So I've done the math because if I transfer USD, they charge me $10 for that transaction. But if I transfer bank to the bank, there's no charge for the transaction, but you take a little hit on the rate. So Michael Fazio, what better behave? Michael Fazio is here with his DOD. Love Michael Fazio. And Daisy May, baby. One of the most entertaining Philippine vloggers in all of YouTube. For sure. So, actually, I guess that's not, when you look at it, that's not really that much because I'm paying about the same amount that you are, Michael. Now that I look at that, $60 to transfer 10,000 is less than I'm being charged to transfer 1,000 at a time. But I haven't really got it, you know. Merc 3, I have joint bank account with my wife. If I send, I can access. You don't have access to her account? That was our original plan, was for us to have accounts that were linked, at least, through the internet. But BPI wouldn't open an account for me. BPI said that because my ACR card says tourist on it, that they couldn't open an account for me, which is incorrect, of course. The ACR card is what enables a foreigner to have a bank account in this country. But they told me that because my ACR card says tourist, they can't open a bank account. But BDO said no problem. Yeah. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Michael. Yeah, it's actually pretty close, Michael, when you look at it. When you look at it. You're always going to have to pay something, right? I mean, has anybody figured out a way to... I have been told now that even writing a check to yourself, there's a charge for that now, like from BDO. So... Michael Fazio, happy birthday, 63. Wow. Never needed an ACR account, only a marriage certificate. Yeah. Oh, Brian, it's $5. And is that what you're doing? Brian, is that how you transfer money to yourself? And you just wait? Do you just wait for it to... Good question. $5 to write a check to yourself at BPI. And so you're, for example, let's say your bank was Bank of America. So you're 27 days to clear. And you're getting the bank rate in pesos in your BPI account. Oh, no, you have a dollar account with BPI. Sorry, I gotcha. Yeah, you want to have a dollar account when you do that. No one thought you would live that long, Fazio. And Clyde Seaside says that the Foz has already died once and came back to life. Hey, that makes sense, right? You have died once. uh, yeah, I think Michael Fazio maybe could even be designated as the missing link. Maybe maybe he could be classified as the missing link. Oh man, no, Michael, I don't pay anything for my check for. I don't have any account fees in the U.S. So that would work for me. But now I need to BPI BDO 1 hour to clear transactions in my name. You can write a check. Michael's saying you can write a check to yourself for $5, but you also pay 5 or 10 a month. Yeah, because I have so many. I've got credit cards with my bank, and I've even had equity lines of credit with my bank. I was never charged a monthly fee for. The money clears my account in 3 to 5 days, but sits in the account for 27 days. Oh, it clears the American account in 3 to 5 days. It sits in the Philippines account for 27 days until you can access it. Okay, so you're just, yeah. Well, that's cool. Well, there you go, guys. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Oh yeah. Okay, I got you, Michael. I see about the commercial account. Yeah. Well, Michael's a great guy, and him and I have chatted back and forth just through the comment sections of his videos. So he's always been a really good guy to me, despite the fact that I'm so much smaller than he is. The channel, I mean. He's always been a very nice guy to me. That's what vlogging's all about in the Philippines. We hang out and support each other, and that's what's really cool about it. I do bank to bank, Clyde, through Western Union, but I take a little bit of a hit, like I said, on the peso exchange rate. You always got to pay a little bit of something. And if I do a cash transfer from Western Union, they charge me $10. So I guess I could offset that with the points that I have through Western Union, but you know, I've heard a lot of people say that TransferWise is the cheapest. Other vloggers even, but I'm hesitant to go with a different company and have to set up a whole new account. And you know, right now I push a couple of buttons and it's done. Mercury 3 says, "Hi, Melanie. I heard you." Oh, do you mean uh, just in the comments section? Michael? Like, if I'm making a comment on your video, to just put in the link to my channel? Is that what you mean? Or to my video? Yeah, Dennis. Everyone, you got to pay a little bit of something everywhere. Yeah. Yeah, Clyde, you're lucky. You don't even have to deal with it. But I can tell you this, in my experience, a lot of people hack Western Union, but man, I have had nothing but success with them. And put the title of your video and the link in the comment section. Oh, okay. I see. Thanks, Michael. If I get something that's unusually funny, in my opinion, I'll do that. Moose Cage, thank you. Thanks for coming in. Nice to see you again, buddy. Yeah, people say World Remit's really good too. What I was saying earlier is when I do the bank-to-bank transfer through Western Union, Melanie has the money in about 2 hours. And it's supposed to take, I know, over 3 hours. It's supposed to take 3 to 5 business days. But she has it in a couple of hours. Thanks, Michael. I would never do something like that without, that doesn't seem like the right thing to do, to post a link to your video and somebody else's. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, Michael's a good guy. Chatted back and forth with him probably, I don't know, as much as maybe 3 years ago at first, back when I was still in the U.S. Yeah, definitely. Michael Fazio, you guys, 63 today. We need to go to Goldilocks and get us a cake. Go to Goldilocks, get a cake for Michael Fazio, baby. You say she has. Do you have what you need? Sorry, I missed something there. Okay. Love it 97. Thanks for being here, buddy. I'm about to. Michael, thanks so much for coming in. That was a nice surprise. One of my favorite vloggers. Thanks for stopping in and saying hi. And please do again if you have time. And I'll do the same with you, as I have before. You too, sir, and happy birthday. Say hi to Daisy from all of us. Daisy May, baby. Say hello to her. Okay, you guys, at 3 hours and 11 minutes, I'm about done. And I'm hungry. I need to go get something to eat. Daisy said hi. Right on. It's not every day you get a hi from the Daisy May, baby. You guys, thanks again for coming into the live chat. We're doing Tuesday and Fridays at 10 a.m. Okay, Tuesday and Friday at 10 a.m. And maybe I'll see you in the Let show tomorrow. That's Wednesdays, right at 9. I got to start going in there because construction engineer Daisy. I always, something happens and I forget the Let show. Thanks, Brian. Everybody that's here, everybody that came in. So great to see all of you guys. We'll do it again on Friday. Thanks again. From North Caloocan City, where the city meets the province, baby. Thanks, Clyde. You too. See you next time.